Hi, welcome to Cheat Chat. I know this is my first video, and this is the first time that I'm showing my face on screen. Um, Although I do have my shades, but I'd rather keep it a little bit mysterious and anonymous. So, hi, if you've been following Cheat Chat, thank you for supporting the Facebook page. Really appreciate it. Also, really appreciate the stories that you share on that page. I'm really overwhelmed with the support the past year because it's already I created it a year ago, well, almost a year ago on March 31st. So I'm really glad that it had helped some people, and I hope that you would continue supporting the Facebook page, even though I haven't posted in a few months. The reason for that is I was trying to heal, and I think it's better that I post without all the emotions. I think it's better that I'm more grounded now. I'm also more stable. So it helps with posting with more substance. So that's the reason why. But I know that a lot of you have reached out to me. Thank you for reaching out. Well, you know who you are. I'm really glad that I've met you through this community, and I also appreciate all the help that you've been extending to other members of the community. And I'm just happy that we have this support system, even if we don't know each other, and we've only met through the internet. So the reason why I was motivated to post something today, it's because the other day was, of course, the International Women's Day. The men who are part of this community, I know that betrayals are also, well, men are also victims of betrayals, and we're not discounting that. It's just that, of course, with the event the other day, we'll focus on, of course, RA 9262, which is the Anti Violence Against Women and Their Children Act of 2004. And first things first, I'm not a lawyer, so we'll just go through this real quick. It's great to be armed with the information that you would need if you would like to pursue a case. But first things first, I'm not a lawyer. Just a disclaimer. And then second, I don't want to force you about filing a case. Always, it's up to you. You would know if you would file a case or not. But then, of course, you have to be smart about it as well. If you're going to file a case, make sure you're prepared with all the documents, all the screenshots. My friend said that when she went to the barangay hall to complain about her husband's mistress, they wanted a photo of the mistress and husband kissing. So just be prepared with those types of evidence if you're going to file a case. And if you're not filing a case, that's fine. Of course, there's a lot of reasons why people don't file a case. It may be possible that the husband is the provider of the family. It may be possible that you would like to protect your children from all of that stress. It may be possible that, for whatever reason, you just don't want to be stressed about all these. So whatever you choose, filing a case or not, that's totally fine. It's up to you. People should respect everyone's decision about these things. So, but for me, yeah, I'm down filing a case. So there you go. So, okay. So, where do you find this? There are a couple of websites that provide information on this law. You can go to the Philippine Commission on Women, that website, and then the website link is right there. It's pcw.gov.ph/Republic Act 9262 Anti-Violence Against Women and Their Children Act of 2004. So it has everything in here. from section 1 until section 51. So if you're very, if you just want to read through it, go do so. It's good to be armed with the right information. If you want to go to your lawyers, if you want to go to the barangay or the women's help desk, you can do so. But as much as possible, what I would suggest is do your research first so that you're prepared. Pupunta ka doon, at least may hawak ka, may evidence ka na, you know how to talk to them about the laws. So it's good to be armed with this kind of information. So if this is overwhelming for you, ang dami, di ba? 51 sections. Imagine that. But it's good to know kasi lahat nandito eh. Lahat nandito. But if you feel that you're overwhelmed with that information, merong isang option. So here's another tab. Yan. All right. So meron on the same website, my FAQs there. So the frequently asked questions about RA 9262. So it defines what RA 9262 is. It is a law that seeks to address the prevalence of violence against women and their children by their intimate partners like their husband or ex-husband, live-in partner, or former live-in partner, boyfriend or girlfriend, or ex-boyfriend or ex-girlfriend, dating partner, former dating partner. So dapat mukhang nagde-date. Dun sa baba, nakalagay na if you're in a relationship with the same sex, you can also file a case against them. So hindi lang siya limited sa men. Dapat basta partner. And then what is violence against women and their children under RA 9262? It refers to any act or series of acts committed by an intimate partner. Ayan nakalagay. Who the woman had sexual or dating relationship with. So against a woman who is his wife or former wife, against a woman with whom the person has or had a sexual or dating relationship, against a woman with whom he has a common child, against her child, whether legitimate or illegitimate, within or without the family abode. So it's not limited to married people. It could also involve, girlfriends, common law wives. And then for the next one, what are the acts of violence which are covered under RA 9262? So a lot of people think that if you're talking about violence against women, and this is the part that's a little, unfair for the other types of violence. Kasi when you say violence, you just think of physical violence eh. And remember na kaya create yung laws na yan. Hindi for the sake of creating those laws. Those laws are created to protect us. So kung hindi natin gagamitin yan, 'di ba? Sayang naman. Sayang naman yung ginawa ng mga sayang naman yung mag-author na tong law na to if we don't use it. So yun nga, hindi ko naman kayo pinipilit about using it, or I just want you guys to know your rights. So RA 9262 covers several acts of violence. Remember, it's not just physical violence. Actually, may story rin ako sa physical violence. Maybe I'll tell that story some other time. So physical violence, the acts that include bodily or physical harm. It's causing, threatening, or attempting to cause physical harm to the woman or her child, placing the woman or her child in fear of imminent physical harm. And then there's sexual violence, the acts which are sexual in nature committed against a woman or her child. It includes, but is not limited to, rape, sexual harassment, acts of lasciviousness, treating a woman or her child as a sex object, making demeaning and sexually suggestive remarks, physically attacking the sexual parts of the victim's body, forcing him or her to watch obscene publications and indecent shows, or forcing the woman or her child to do indecent acts and or make films thereof, forcing the wife and mistress or lover to live in the conjugal home or sleep together in the same room with the abuser. Kapal naman yan. causing or attempting to make the woman or her child to perform sexual acts by use of force, threats, intimidation directed against the woman, her child, or her immediate family, and prostituting the woman or her child. And then there's psychological violence, which is really applicable to a lot of us. It's acts or commissions causing or likely to cause mental or emotional suffering of the victim, which includes, but is not limited to, the following: controlling or restricting the woman's or her child's movement or conduct, threatening to or actually depriving the woman or her child of custody or access to her or his family, depriving or threatening to deprive the woman or her child of a legal right, causing mental or emotional anguish. Ay nako, yan yun. Public ridicule or humiliation to the woman or her child, repeated verbal and emotional abuse, and denial of financial support or custody of minor children, or denial of access to the woman's child or children. So, ako nga, five times, five incidents of betrayal. And then, dun sa incidents of betrayal na yun, it's not that I begged him to stay, like super begged him in all counts. I begged him to stay. No, I didn't. Actually, that the first time na nahuli ko siya, after 2 days, I already told him, because we were in Bali then. I already told him that, you can go, and I was ready. I was super ready. I was already telling my mother-in-law that, I don't think it's going to work out anymore. Kasi hindi ako pinapansin ng 2 days nasa Bali. Depressed daw siya. So, I told syempre depressed na yun. Di totoo yun. But, I told him na, okay, you can go. You can go back to Manila. And then I'll just stay in Bali. And then, umiyak. Sorry siya ng sorry. And then, he assured me na, wala na, wala na silang relationship ng kabit niya. But then, it was all a lie pala. And then, even the other counts, he was, telling me to stay. Pinagbog siya ng kabit niya. He called me asking for my forgiveness. So, imagine I think the first time, siguro the first time that it happened, nahuli ko. And then it was already, it was already okay. I was already okay. Hindi siguro ako magkakaroon ng meltdown. Siguro hindi ako magiging, traumatized that much. Pero hindi, ginawa niya 5 times. So anyway, 5 times of that. And then threatening or actually inflicting physical harm on oneself for the purpose of controlling the woman's actions or decisions. Actually, yung sa case niya, hindi naman niya tinutuloy Pero ang ginagawa niya, pag nag-aaway, minsan umuupo doon sa may ledge ng balcony. And then, ayun, para lang magbago isip ko. Okay, anyway, next. It includes causing or allowing the victim to witness the physical, sexual, or psychological abuse of a member of the family to which the victim belongs to. Or to witness pornography in any form, or witness abusive injury to pets, or to unlawful or unwanted deprivation of the right to custody and or visitation of common children. Causing or allowing the victim to witness the physical, sexual, or psychological abuse of a member of the family. That's exactly what he did to my son. And then causing substantial emotional or psychological distress to the woman or her child, stalking, peering in the window, entering or remaining in the dwelling. Ay nako, ginawa rin yan. Destroying the property, ginawa rin niya yan. Engaging in any form of harassment or violence. All right. Next, economic abuse. Economic abuse. Acts that make or attempt to make a woman financially dependent upon her abuser. Preventing the woman from engaging in any legitimate profession, occupation, business, or activity. Controlling the woman's own money or property, or solely controlling the conjugal or common money or properties, which reminds me, kinuha niya yung kotse ko. Kinuha niya yung kotse. Ako naman nagbabayad nun. Destroying household property. Sinira niya yung mga pinto. bago siya umalis. And then there are definitions here. Just read through it. Helpful would be probably the battered woman syndrome. Pag sinabi siguro sa inyo na, nagwala ka nung nalaman mo na, na kung may kabit ako, siguro, sino ba hindi magwawala? Diyos ko, ako nga nagwala na lang ako nung last time eh. Kasi parang hindi ko na matake. And then, so you could just read through the battered woman syndrome. And then who are the persons protected by RA 9262? Wife, former wife, a woman with whom the offender has or had sexual relations with, a woman with whom the offender has a common child with, the legitimate or illegitimate child of the woman with or without the family vote. Is VAWC committed by men alone? No. Women can also be liable under the law. Yung mga partners, lesbian partners or girlfriend. What if the male spouse or partner complains about abuses committed by his wife or partner? File a complaint under the revised penal code and also, talk to your lawyer. What can women and children do under RA 9262? They may file a criminal action or apply for a protection order. And then who may file? Any citizen having personal knowledge of the circumstances involving the commission of the crime may file a complaint against the women and their children because it is a public crime. And then where should the cases be filed? In the regional trial court designated as a family court or of the place where the crime was committed. These courts have original exclusive jurisdiction over these cases. Penalties, imprisonment, ranging from 1 month and 1 day to 20 years. 1 day to 20 years. Payment of 100,000 to 300,000. Kaya alam mo ko pag kung lalaki ka or babae ka, tapos nag-iisip, kung lalaki ka, tapos nag-iisip ka na mag-cheat, isipin mo, may batas tayo sa cheating, may batas tayo sa betrayals, may batas tayo sa affairs. Especially, at saka, lalo na kung yung kabit mo, mahilig magpadala ng mga, what do you call that, mga evidence. Ay, nako. Delikado ka. So, wag na mag-cheat. Hindi mo kailangan mag-cheat. Happiness, well, siguro, lang yan, usually mga ganito, nahanap lang naman dyan, sabi ng mga tao, hindi sila masaya. Sa totoo lang, hindi mo naman kailangan manakit na ibang tao para maging masaya. So what is the prescriptive period for a complainant to file a complaint? It may be filed within 20 years. Nako, so kung nangyari to nung 1993, for example, hindi, 2004 pala to. So, kung nangyari ito, mga 2007, ayan, wala, patay ka. Hanggang ngayon, applicable pa rin to. So, ayun, mag-ingat kayo kasi cheat kayo ng cheat. Ang daming cheaters dyan ngayon. Tapos, tingnan mo, pwede mag-file ng complaint within 20 years. Diba? So, mag-isip-isip kayo. I mean, kung may mga cheaters dito na nakikinig or kung balak niyo mag-cheat, think about it. Think about it real hard. Kasi, alam mo, ang dami rin mawawala sa'yo pag nag-cheat ka in my husband's case, daming nawala sa kanya. Of course, nawalan siya ng family. Nawalan siya ng livelihood. Nawalan siya ng mga kaibigan. Ang natira na lang yung mga walang choice. Yung iba, walang choice. Yung iba, syempre, hindi sila approved sa ginawa niya, especially mga common friends, pero they want to be neutral about it. And how can you trust a person? How can you even trust a person who cheated on you? Or who cheated on someone, di ba? You can't trust someone who cheated. And then also, may kita mo rin naman sa ugali talaga ng tao na cheater siya Cheater in a lot of things. So, Anyway, there's another time for that story. And then you can also file a protection order. There are also various kinds of protection orders. Um, and then there's also a lot of information to apply for protection orders. And then meron pa mga scenarios dito. My husband has been cheating on me for over 3 years now with various women. Is there a way I can apply in filing a case against him? The acts of your husband cheating on you have caused you mental and emotional suffering. Tandaan nyo yan. Hindi yan parang, oh, kalimutan mo na. Ano yun? Sleepless nights. Sleepless nights, hindi ka makapagtrabaho. Affected rin ang anak mo Kung may anak kayo, affected rin naman sila. So such acts may be ground for the filing of a VAW case for psychological violence. And then my boyfriend has been hurting me every time we fight and even threatens to kill me. Can I file a case? Yes, physical violence against a woman as well as threatening to inflict physical harm for the purpose of controlling her actions or decisions is deemed as an act of violence against women. And then next, my ex-husband has stopped giving me and our daughter support since 2009. Can I file a case? Yes, you may file a case for VAW against him as his act of withdrawing financial support. His act of refusing to give financial support to your daughter constitutes to economic abuse. Actually nga, yung husband ko, nag-El Nido sila nung kabit niya noong December. Saya, di ba? So, ayan, economic abuse. Pero nakakapag-provide siya doon sa kabit niya ng trip. Pero hindi niya mabalik-balik yung kotse ko at saka hindi niya mabalik yung mga investments ko na ginawa nung habang nag-cheat siya. Anyway, I have been in an abusive relationship for quite some time. Can I file a case? Yes, you can file a case against him. A woman who has had a sexual or dating relationship with her assailant and whom the assailant has a common child may file a case against the latter for physical violence. And then I am a lesbian and I have been in an abusive relationship with another woman. Can I file a case? Acts of violence may be committed by any person with whom the victim has an intimate relationship with. So, kahit sino. So the offense may be committed by a woman or a man with whom the victim has or had a sexual relationship with. I am a husband who has magandang feedback. I am a husband who has been mentally, verbally, and emotionally abused by my wife. Can I file a case against my wife? No, because it's meant for the protection of women and children. It cannot be used by men to charge their wives or partners. You may file a case under the revised penal code. And then marami pa. So just read through this. Those are just examples. So where to seek help? Barangay VAW desk, Provincial City Municipal Social Welfare and Development Office, DSWD, PNP. Ang dami nandun yung list. So you have a couple of options. So ayan. So if you want references, I'll make sure I put something on the description. And then thank you for listening to me. I hope this helps you at least finding the information, finding the references if you need to file a case in the future. And just remember, if you're going to file a case, just a word of advice: don't be too emotional about when you're getting evidence. Try to control your emotions para at least pagdating ng araw, if you do decide to file a case, at least you have everything that you need. Ipon ka lang ng ipon. May mga kilala akong ginagawa nila ipon ng ipon. Hindi pa sila nagde-decide ngayon, but, magde-decide sila. I'm sure in the future, it would be helpful na you would have everything that you need if ever that you decide to file a case. So thanks for your time, and I hope you're having a terrific day today. Bye.